What am I doing? I'm gonna point right at you and say your name.
Call you.
Do you have any comments?
We just need to
Let's
put a
call it to
complaint
order.
and then get
Okay.
a number out to everybody on that.
I
side
think
that says
so.
bridge
Didn't they know where he
closed.
lives?
6
A
o'clock.
lot of them do. They know where they can find me. They just don't show
Manchester
up.
Community School Board
Yeah, well-
meeting to order. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, roll call. Mr. Fierstos is gone. Mr. Penrod,
Here.
Mr. Orr,
Present.
Mrs. Tobias.
Here.
Mr. Raymer.
Present.
And Mr. Esposek.
Here.
And I'm here. There's the hardest part of the meeting. Got 6. Any emergency additions, deletions?
No additions or deletions?
0. Hearing from patrons. Thank you for your attendance this evening, even though you're not going to speak. Thank you. Presentations, recognitions.
There are none this evening. We tried to get some sports people here, and between coaches gone and banquets, and so we're hoping in July. We have had a lot going on. Had some kids qualify for state track. Had the tennis team win their second consecutive sectional, and actually beat an undefeated team in the first round of regional. So we've got a lot to celebrate. It's just kind of trying to get as many here as we possibly can. So summers always get a little crazy.
Okay. Awesome, thank you. Hey, did you have any comments this evening? Okay, thank you. Financial report, Dr. Stevens.
Start with the operation fund. Good evening. I was hoping this evening we could at least have the abstract for tax draws. We do not yet, so by July we should have a much better handle. Operation fund, as you can see, is up. You go through this, and I'll just is what is keeping us where we're at. Otherwise, this would be a very ugly number in the hundreds of thousands. So we were projecting being down 84,000 at the end of May, and we're actually down 29,000. Variance is 54, so actually a very good month. Some of that is because we're offsetting a lot of our expenditures through the first mortgage bond that we took out last year. And once I get through this, I don't know if Terry wants to or want me to, but we'll go through some of the projects we have scheduled and underway already. So, any questions on operations? Okay, and then going on to education, same format. So again, we're projecting revenue in, we're up a little bit. Total expenses, we're down a little bit, so that's obviously why it's in the green. Other revenue, we were dead on projections, so coming on down. When you get all said and done, we're anticipating having 1890 positive in the bank. We're actually 1898, so I have verbatim and junk stuff on my wall that will go through detail of anything you want to see, and if I don't have it, we have it in the back door.
I don't know whether I want to ask this or not, but related to the education fund, student count comes to mind. Did we get a final count on
At the end of the, well,
pre-K and the elementary? Roundup?
Pre-K, there's still applications way, so there have been changes to pre-K on the way from the state and another grant. So we have 7 right now that are waiting on responses.
7 students?
7 students waiting on responses for that funding. The funding is less. They're limiting the amount of kids for a pre-K on the way, the amount that can get in. So that was part of the Senate Bill 1 budget. And so we're kind of a wait and see. Our kindergarten numbers are at 105, which is, we graduated at 105. We're bringing in 105.
In and out.
And we'll pick some up. We always do at the beginning of the year. Those numbers are good.
And my projections going forward is we're down about 30. So anything less than 30 down is positive when we get to count day, which is in October. So.
Well, and I'm hoping that thing on that, resignations.
Junior high school to the cross-country pavilion from Julie Castle, $500 to the junior-senior high school cross-country pavilion from Ryan Hedstrom, $250 to the junior-senior high school cross-country program pavilion from Jim Myers, $408.03 to MES for the purchase of books for the elementary summer school students from David Dowd and Kim Eversole.
And thank you, community, for the donations. Facility rentals.
I have no facility rental requests at this time.
Okay. Can I get a motion for approval of the consent items? Mr. Penrod, second. Mr. Raymer. Any discussion? Since we have no recognition tonight, 34 years definitely deserves some recognition.
Yep.
So that's a long-time employee, great person. So thank you to all that served. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 6-0. I just about said Randy, Tony, but. Okay, employment.
Employment recommendations, we have numerous. Cecilia Tapia, junior senior high first shift custodian. Rex Adair, junior senior high school football assistant. Bradley Sprunger, junior senior high school football assistant. Matt Carver, junior senior high school assistant, boys tennis coach. Eric Christiansen, junior senior high head boys tennis coach. Haley Backus, junior senior high science teacher. Pat Lepper, junior senior high head high school boys basketball coach. Lauren Stout, MIS fourth grade teacher. Maria Wepley, junior senior high 4.75 hour cook. Heidi Fairchild, junior senior high 8-hour cook. Scott Sheehan, junior senior high school boys soccer coach. Pat Leopard, junior senior high PE teacher. Kenny Miller, junior senior high school boys assistant soccer coach. Brock Ireland, junior senior high color guard. Kathy Hawkins, MES music teacher maternity to cover maternity leave. Yolanda Burdette, MES kitchen manager 7.5 hours. Debbie Cole, MES food service 6.25 hours. Harley Bradley, MIS fourth grade teacher. Valerie Garris, MCS bus aide. Terry Smith, MCS bus driver. Jorge Garcia, junior senior high school boys assistant soccer. Keaton Dukes, junior senior high school boys basketball assistant coach. Jason Dorman, junior senior high school boys basketball assistant coach. Alyssa Eddy, MCS summer school teacher. And that is to fill in someone who cannot complete their responsibilities with that.
Okay. Motion to approve. Mrs. Tobias, a second. Mr. Rohr, discussion?
Welcome.
Welcome
New
aboard.
faces. A lot of new faces.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
6-0.
Next is the Food to School Purchase Cooperative Contract Awards for 25-26. We do this every year. It's a purchasing cooperative that is run through Northwest Allen County Schools. They're the lead district. Just gives purchasing power to school districts for their cafeterias to get better pricing on the foods that we purchase and prepare for our students.
Okay. Motion to approve. Mr. Penrod, a second. Mr. Raymer. Discussion?
There's nothing
Kind of the
different.
same, yeah, same every year, so.
Sure.
It's a great opportunity to, you know, the more people that are in that cooperative, obviously the better negotiating power we have to get stronger prices for our, you know, the commodities that we purchase for our students.
I do wonder sometimes on state agreements, but then that would be probably not enough autonomy, right, with what you want to serve and et cetera, so. All in favor?
Aye.
6-0. Surety bond.
Yep, next is approval of the surety bond for Darla Kane and ECA Treasurers. We do this every year. It's a surety bond for anybody that handles cash.
Motion to approve.
Make a motion.
Mr. Raymer, second. Ms. Tobias, discussion? Kind of same old. What is this for, like 50 grand? Have we raised that?
Depends on the position. So Darla's the highest, cafeteria is are probably less. Well, it depends on what their accounts are.
Okay.
Do you know what Darla's is? I believe it's 50.
I think so.
Okay.
I think
Yep.
that's the max. I think don't quote me this, I think the BCAs are 30, and I think cafeterias are 10, if I recall, but again, only that,
Okay.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
6-0.
Next is approval of Pat Lepper, a new boy basketball coach, basketball camp July 14th, 17th, July 28th, 31st. And Mr. Lepper does carry liability insurance for that camp.
Motion to approve.
Motion to
Mr.
approve.
Penrod, second. Mr. Orr, discussion?
I like that they're having a former professional basketball player going to be attending there. I've never heard Buckets. Has anybody heard of Buckets? Planutis? I've never heard that name as an NBA player, but so that'd be kind of neat.
Yeah, this is probably one we'll have a discussion on later as well as policy and stuff like that. All in favor? Aye.
Next is approval of the junior high cross-country team camp out. That is August 2nd and 3rd. It's a Friday to a Saturday.
Motion to approve.
I'll make a motion.
Mr. Bias, second. Mr. Esposito, thank you, Rick. Any discussion? Nope. All in favor?
Aye.
6-0. I think all the attachments. Moving. Heartland update.
Two items. We are nearing completion of the roof project. That's been a major event, and I think Floyd McWhort deserves a lot of credit for really supervising that whole process and keeping us informed. So, big deal. The second item is the certificate award presentation of Heartland, which I attended. I had not done that before. Just a lot of smiling and happy young people being successful in life, and their parents and grandparents there to support them. So really a very enjoyable evening. So all's going well.
Yeah, awesome. Heartland is a gym, and you know, when I think about like discussions of Wabash County, we've got 3 school corporations, that always comes up, right? But we've also, you know, Larry, were you on the board in 1961? Those guys that formed the Heartland, right, from 61, 65 is when we joined, right? But I mean, there's cooperation within the county. We have a central CTE system where most counties don't, and that's probably the biggest spend right now in the state, is all the other counties kind of catching up to us with the centralized CTE system. So I mean, I think,
Correct.
you know, there's feathers in the hat for Wabash County sometimes. I don't think we propagate. But and then the other thing about Heartland is what? It provides an avenue, right, for kids with, you know, that want to get into skilled trades and stuff like that. So one of the biggest mistakes ever made was in 2000 when they cut the funding, right, for CTE and went to Core 40.
Well,
So appreciate you being down there, Fred.
Well, in addition to that, each year Heartland constructs a home using, 28 young people to do that. Just very exciting to walk through that build and see young people there with their parents and how excited the young people were to be showing their parents what they had worked on and completed. So all around, just a good program. Good job.
Yeah, huge movement. Thank you. Legislative update?
The good news is there's no ability for the legislators to change the language from the last time, so as we still digest it, we'll find out here. Monday, during the daytime, I'm going down to Grow Wabash County. They're having a individual come in there to talk about kind of a conversation about what does it mean, ask questions, and they can kind of financial advisor there. So that'll be kind of interesting conversation to get their take on it. I know there's more companies out there. There's opportunities to help municipalities figure out what's going on for different options, and so they're soliciting their work to help us understand what we don't. So really nothing else to be in details about, but financing, budget season, that's going to be fun, right, Jeff? It has been.
Usually by now we have budget forms
Yeah.
that we can start playing with. Those haven't even been released yet.
Yeah.
And there's no date when they will release them.
Yeah.
So the adoption date hasn't changed.
I get in and read this little book every now and then on stuff, and there's this one story about you had plenty of wheat, right, for 7 years, and then there was a drought for 7 years. So we better start thinking like that, I think, because things are sliding, and a lot of our approach, if you don't see this shift, is gonna be with the county, right? Looking for funds from the county, as well as the state. So, I think the game's changing, and we better be on top of it. So, anything else on legislative?
No.
Thanks, Adam. Superintendent comments?
Graduation, well attended, went very well. I've said this before, and I shared this with Mr. Zinsmeister and Mrs. Mize. I've 32 years. I've sat through a lot of graduation programs, and I say Manchester's probably one of the best run and really most meaningful ones that I've sat through. The speeches were great. The kids' performances were great. Just a good evening of celebrating accomplishments of our seniors. A lot going on, and some things have already started this summer, and Dr. Stevens alluded to that. We have some college kids that return that are working for us, and painting, updating, just giving fresh look to a lot of rooms. We have carpeting that's going to be taking place this summer. They've started the main gym floor was stripped completely down to the wood, and they've started building up the different layers of stain, different colors. It's going to be really exciting when that is done. The steps on the permanent seating prior to graduation, there was like a poly coat. I don't know, poly coat to put on the steps. They look brand new. They look really good. Kids painted all the gray surface under the chairs and on the backsplash. And the nice thing is, once that new court gets done, that color coming down the stairs will run right into our court. It's going to be really sharp. Tennis courts will be coming up, I want to say July. Yeah, we've talked about that before, but repairing the cracks, sandblasting it down, repairing all the cracks with a 5-year warranty. I think we're going new color on the court, a little more representative of Manchester. I know they've cut out the area for the pad for the cross-country pavilion. The track is getting resurfaced. I think we've mentioned this, but we had the goalpost, the top half of the goalpost, in a windstorm come off, and we've talked with the welder, and that can be repaired without having to replace the entire pole system. So that's taking place this summer. Preschool playground is getting rejuvenated, and some new equipment and a new flooring put down, actually expanding the footprint of the preschool fencing, right, still from the south ticket booth will run to the west and tie into the pole barn that's, the barn that's right back here by the cell tower, and some fencing at MES. I feel like I'm forgetting some. Oh, tennis court lights. We have some lights that aren't functioning, and so we're looking at making a switch to some LED, putting some LED fixtures up, longer lasting, better lighting. We have a pole that fell down in a storm a while back, getting that re-put up so that we have adequate lighting across all those courts. So a lot going on. I'm probably, what am I forgetting?
MIS carpet.
Oh yeah, MIS carpet. We're getting ready to go through we just got some samples today, but all the hallways and the cafeteria area will be recarpeted at MIS. It's pretty stained up and worn, and it's time, so we're going to put in a quality product and put in the squares, which really is the way most people go now. That way, if there is an issue, you can just replace the one square instead of having to pull up a whole section. So a lot going on this summer. I try to do a walk around almost every day to see who's in the building, who's doing what work's being done, snap some pictures. We'll start getting those up on social media because I think it's important for our community and our taxpayers to see how their efforts to help us, help our kids, and improve our facilities. So that's where we're at. Other than that, it's summer, and people always ask me if things slow down in the summer, and I think they speed up in a different way. A lot of staffing things going on, preparing for next year. Right now, we're just now starting to get publications and things with interpretation of the new laws that have passed impacting education. So, shuffling through all those. I think the first one just came out the end of last week. We've kind of been waiting, for those to come out so we can see how that all pans out. So it's going to be a busy summer. Be a good summer. Going to be busy.
Board comments? Before we go there, Mr. Miller, did you have anything you wanted to say this evening? All right, thank you. Thanks for coming. Board comments?
Tony, you talked about MIS. What's the plans for the ventilation out there?
For the ventilation?
Yeah, there's some concerns, I know, with air conditioning, ventilation not.
Like consistency of,
When
or
you get to certain ends of the building, it not being adequate enough.
okay, I have not heard that, so I will have to get with Mr. Baldwin and find out what's going on and see how we can look into that.
So we just so in that meeting, we talked about a couple safety items.
Right.
We won't talk about them now, but keep, maybe shoot an email on the progress of those.
Yep.
So, anything else?
Is there any update as far as iRead scores, how the third graders did this year? And
They're still embargoed.
okay,
So as soon as they're not embargoed, we will have our administrators come and present on that. Without going into specifics, I can say we're above state average across the board. So that's a positive. But we just talked about this yesterday, they are still embargoed. So I can't give specifics yet.
Well, I think what would be nice going forward in meetings is that if you bring all three of them, right, it's a long, arduous meeting, but if you could set up a rotation where an administrator's coming in like every meeting, like we are in the education business and we rarely talk about, score, the educational attainment that we're in business for. So again, that would be a request to maybe rotate them one in each month. That way you get something fresh. Because there's stuff going on in the school. I mean, you guys have, I've got people in the schools, you guys have people in the schools, I don't think we talk about that enough, right? And I heard some more chatter about third grade reading, but you got to look from the legislative standpoint. They distribute the taxpayers' money for us to do things, and then if we test kids and they don't pass, I mean, what they're looking for is a little bit of accountability there. But I mean, you know, some of it's, you know, got merit and validity, so. Other than that, motion to adjourn. Mr. Penrod, second. Mr. Orr, all in favor? Aye. 6-0. Did we miss anything? Good.